cool.
Weird.
We're seeing Deadpool! Oh my gosh!
Think that wasn't yet. My sister has it. Yes. It's you.
I know.
Wintertime here at Hogsmeade Village.
Lieutenant Dane.
Hello, Forrest.
You got new legs.
Titanium alloy.
Time for my summer sizzle, cool as a cherry popsicle.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
It's happening. It's dish time. I've always wanted to do this in front of you.
Creating content that enlightens and lifts you up.
Dish, sir, dish.
Me at Splash Mountain, just pepper these in here.
Hello everyone, this is Kermit the Frog reporting live from the final showing of Muppet Vision 3D.
Right? God, I missed our daily dishes.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the dish!
Hey. So, let's dish.
What do you want to dish about?
Anything you guys want. This is your time.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. This is The Dish. And it's at a new time. We have changed it. So it's actually going to be great for the audience because we have That Park Place that comes in at noon on Monday. I'm going to come in right after and do my show earlier on Monday. So I stream right after That Park Place. And then Marvin is actually going to have a lead-in show tonight to the pro show. So on the M4 Empire, Marvin will be doing a show at 7:30 tonight, and you'll get that lead-in right into the pro show at 9 o'clock. What a day for the That Park Place Network. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in right now very quickly to our show our good friend, Vash Sky. Vash, how you doing?
Hello there, Ron. Thank you so much for having me on this amazing Dish show. I've been meaning to come on even before this for sure because I love what you do, Ron, and I love your channel, and your content is absolutely extraordinary. Hopefully I can join you in avatar form. Had a little bit of technical issues over the Super Bowl night there. Super Bowl, would it be Eve? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But so it's preventing me from being on camera. But go ahead, Ron, please.
No. You're perfectly fine. I totally understand, and that happens. And we are going to bring on one more guest real quick. And the order of the day is going to be out of order, folks, for those of you that are watching. And if I freeze because of technical whatever, then that's going to happen. But I think one of our regulars is here.
Afternoon, everybody.
Tom,
Gentlemen, how are you?
we're good. What do you got behind you? It looks like the werewolf.
It's a werewolf.
All right.
I was just an image because I had a werewolf shirt on yesterday for Lorena's show.
I'm trying to do so. So today is like trying to get things ready earlier. And then doing That Park Place show. I realized, you know what? There's a lot of ducks that I didn't quite get in a row yet. So I'm trying to do some things there. But I appreciate you and Vash being here. I think MJ will be joining us a little bit later, and we got a ton of people coming over from That Park Place. So I appreciate that, everybody. That is coming over. We've got Izzo's Place was here, and I see Jackie Delaney in the chat. Happy Monday, everyone. Wild Man of Yavin, of course, here out of obligation. Of course you are, Wild Man. FTM 22 says Pedro had to show up and get footage for that spring sizzle. Boy, he absolutely did. Izzo's told me to stop. Yeah, I did have to do a winter whistle between shows real quick. Alex G 5981 is here, and Flying Blind on a rocket cycle. Thank you for rating in from That Park Place. Chef Eddie is here. Good to see Chef Eddie. Dan's Life of the Kingdom and William are both here. Good to see you guys. Let's see, who else do we have in the chat? I'm trying to see. Vast Sky Park. Guys, by the way, if you have not yet subscribed to Vash Sky's Park Cast, please do.
Ron, why don't you make him a min so he could drop his link in there?
Because I would have to do it later.
No, you're fine. I can just do it like this here. If you click on the avatar or me in the comments section, it'll take you to my channel, obviously, and you can subscribe from there.
There you go. And Disney Secret Kingdom is here all the way from California. Now, I don't know if you, Vash, have met Disney Secret Kingdom, but they're over. They do live streams at Disneyland, and I hope that you guys end up hooking up in the park at some point in time over there. Great brother and sister team. Awesome.
I love the streaming scene over at Disneyland. There's it's a pretty great community. They're it's a pretty competitive one, but the streaming scene at Disneyland is a really interesting community. So great shout out there, Ron.
Speaking of a competitive community, it's funny. We were over at Animal Kingdom the other night, and we saw Resort TV1. Hi, O2RR. And I see that, let's see, James All Day is here. Neverboy. I think this is Jonathan Rubin. Quick prayers for his dad who's having some shoulder pain. There you go. Izzo has got it for us right there. Vash Skies Park cast. And Bad Bunny deactivated his Instagram. Well, that's never a good thing. Guys, everybody who is coming in, thank you so much. You're the apple in my eye, the cream in my coffee, and of course, you are the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed to be here with you.
Toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy. This stuff's the greatest.
Oh my gosh, that stuff is the greatest. Yeah, so wow. Thank you guys, everybody that is coming in today. We don't have there's no goal or anything out there. So anybody who sends in support, just want to thank you ahead of time. Obviously, we're going to celebrate that the way we always celebrate on this show. And with our little fun dance, we invite everybody to celebrate with us whenever we're doing that celebration. If you are a member of the channel, you got custom emojis to drop down below in the chat, in the comment section. By the way, if you're watching this on the replay, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, all of those usual things. And of course, comment below, replay gang, if you're watching this for the comments later. Izzo's Place has helped me out because I wanted to share with you how we do our celebration. So Izzo's Place comes in with a support chat member for 19 months, which really tells me I gotta update the little icons for the 18-month mark and everything. So he says, celebrate. We do this together. If you are a member of the channel, little icons in the chat. And if you're not yet a member of the channel, any smiley emojis, any dance emojis, any fireworks emojis. This is what a celebration looks like. We're going to do it right now. Get ready and celebrate with us. Here we go. There we go. Now, as we do, look, everybody's chiming in. All right, as we do every week here on our Monday show, even though we have bumped up the time, we still cover what we cover. And so the first thing that we cover is the box office. Now, this weekend's going to be a little bit different because, well, you had a Super Bowl, but Friday and Saturday should have been the same. Now, my Friday and Saturday, what I did was we went to the Animal Kingdom on Friday. Saturday, I went to a luau. This was a really cool event, and I'll talk more about it on the channel later. But the same people. Okay, so if you're familiar with Disney, and I know Vash, did you ever get a chance to go to the Polynesian luau here in Walt Disney World?
I do apologize, Ron. One more time there. I broke up. I'm having technical issues on my end.
You're good. The Polynesian luau used to be a luau at the Polynesian
right
before they built the tower. Did you ever get a chance to go to that here?
Unfortunately, I never got to see it, but from what I understand, it really took its inspiration from like the Tahitian Terrace. So if you remember back in the 1960s, going back to I think 62 maybe, you had Tahitian Terrace at Disneyland. That was on the exterior of the Tiki Room, in between that and the Jungle Cruise right there, and the luau as part of the Polynesian. that goes back to even before Walt Disney World opened. So to lose that luau as part of the Polynesian's rich history and also to its amenities was a real shame.
Yes, it was.
I think I went
Tom,
there twice. I think I went
you
there.
went. Yeah, so Tom's been, I've been. It was something I did as a kid, something I did later on as an adult, which was really cool. But there is still a place where you can see a very similar luau, and that is at the Royal Pacific Hotel. And it is friends of mine that do that. Well, they put on a show at a friends of mine. Some friends of mine's church, they put on a luau show, and it was the same people and the same show that they do at the Royal Pacific. And I went there on Saturday night to see that. That was very, very cool. So wait, I think I hear a knock.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, it's MJ.
Hello.
Magically, MJ is with us. You came just in time for me to be talking about the luau that I went to. And it's the only luau left in Orlando. If you wanted to see a luau show, you got to go to the Royal Pacific on Saturday nights, which I think is the only time that they usually do it. But
yeah, it is. You went to the luau at the Royal Pacific.
I didn't. I did it. But I didn't. So
okay, do tell.
Okay, so the family, the entertainers that do the luau at the Royal Pacific put on a free show at a friend of mine's church, and I went to that. And it's the same show. Said the difference, of course, would be the dinner that we got was not the same, but still, we had a really good time, and it was very reminiscent of the luau's that I'd seen in the past at the Polynesian and other places. I've been to a few in my life, and it was a lot of fun. And they even obviously they couldn't do a fire dance inside of a church, so they did it in the parking lot.
That is so cool. Was it like after dark, like after the sun went down?
Yeah, it was
very
pretty
cool.
Awesome. So
happy Monday. Hi Vash. Hi Tom. How are you guys?
Hi MG.
Aloha.
Aloha. Yes, aloha.
So speaking of aloha, speaking of it being Monday, we've got to get to our Monday coverage that we do every Monday. We got to talk about it. It's the numbers. This being a Super Bowl weekend, I was kind of curious about what the weekend numbers would be, but out of the numbers, we see that so the number one movie at the weekend box office was titled in response to the Bad Bunny halftime show. It's called Send Help.
I thought that was entitled to the whole Iger ring and everything and all everything.
I don't know. This is really cool though. Look at this. Number two was kind of independent Angel Studios Solo Mio with the king. What is the King of Queens, right? What's his name? Vash, the King of Queens guy, James.
Oh, is it Kevin James?
Kevin James, yeah. So Solo Mio is like a love story, I think. I've seen some of the previews. It is something that I kind of want to see. I don't know if I'll go see it at the box office or not, but seeing it in the number two position is actually pretty cool. And then who knows what Iron Lung is?
I don't, but I will just say that the three names together sounds really cool as one giant movie.
Send help, Solo Mio, with an iron lung. Vash, are you aware of Iron Lung?
I have heard about this film. I don't know too much about it, but from what I understand, it actually got pretty solid reviews from the people that I saw who actually saw it. They were evangelizing about it, and they were actually surprised at the quality of this film, particularly because it's relatively unknown in the wider marketplace, especially when compared to Zootopia 2, for example, or Dracula and Avatar: Fire and Ash. Just simply doesn't have the name behind it, but heard good things.
Yeah, so the reason I know about this movie is my older son, he's 23, who has seen this movie once already. He's like, "Hey, Dad, will you take me to see Iron Lung? I've seen it once, but I want to see it again." So whatever it is, I don't even know that much about it, but the fact that my 23-year-old wants to see this a second time at the movie theater, at the box office, that tells me good things. So, and it did bring in $2,300 per theater, which is not bad at all.
Better than what Wicked for Good was doing.
Yeah. So, and then we see we've got Dracula's Zootopia 2 has $1,400 per theater. Fire and Ash is about the same. When you look at the numbers for Zootopia 2, and I know that Zootopia 2 and Avatar Fire and Ash have done amazing things overseas, but if this were 2019 and we were looking at those numbers and they weren't twice what they are right now, like look at the total gross. These are domestic numbers. Zootopia 2 has a domestic gross of $414 million. And while it may be $1.5 billion plus with the overseas numbers total, I would say that the domestic take is lacking a lot, because somebody correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that where they get the bulk of their profit from, is the domestic?
Domestic market is really high, and it's much more simpler to calculate because there's so many different takes, right, from all these different international markets. Obviously, the Latin American market is going to have different returns, let's say, than like the Chinese market. And the Chinese market is going to have different returns from like the UK market and so forth. So it's far more straightforward. It doesn't mean that the international box office doesn't have its place. Obviously, we saw that in the late 20-teens and maybe even the mid 20-teens and so forth, how Hollywood studios and distributors would put an emphasis on the international marketplace because of its box office revenue generation and potential. That being said, though, you would like to see the domestic market to have much more impact. I believe, you were looking at maybe like half domestic take versus the international box office in the glory days, and maybe you get 3 times, but that was kind of a rare instance right here. Avatar has been historically a film franchise that has played better internationally than domestic, especially when it comes to the Chinese market and so forth. The interesting thing here, though, is I think a lot of people were suggesting that, hey, this film franchise churns out $2 billion hits no matter what. It's almost like clockwork. To have it be diminished now to like 1.4 in this case right here, I think is a bit alarming to Disney. It's not the $2 billion juggernaut that it had been before in the past. These things are running out of steam, and we saw indicators of this, by the way, before this film even came out, when they reissued or re-released, The Way of Water, in preparation for the release of Fire and Ash. We saw that didn't do nearly as much as the re-release for the original 2009 Avatar back in the day. And that was an early indication, this was back in October of 2025, that maybe enthusiasm for this particular franchise has waned. And we're certainly seeing that. Remember, the bulk of Avatar is going to be from PLFs, right? These kind of premium large format experiences, whether it be IMAX, 3D showings, Dolby, etc. And so the potential for this should really be greater as time goes on. In fact, we're seeing the opposite. We are seeing a diminished box office return, even though we have more PLF experiences than what existed in 2022 with the release of Way of Water, in 2009 with the original Avatar.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers from the original Avatar, and you have almost 800 million domestic, just domestic, and then that international 2.1 billion plus international. But then you also had Blu-ray and DVD sales. That doesn't happen now
anymore. That's a very good point.
You've got
look at that, downloads.
Almost 500,000. Almost half a billion. Sorry, almost half a billion just in the actual hard copy sales of this, and that's before digital downloads, before PVOD, which, by the way, PVOD is a rental market at first, and people can sometimes just rent, $19 on the dollar, $15, whatever, and they're not even getting it forever. It's so interesting to see, and I would. My take on this, Vash, and anyone else can chime in, especially on Avatar. Zootopia is a whole different thing. But with Avatar specifically, I think that the reason the interest has diminished is because the biggest interest in this was the spectacle of it. Like, I remember going to see Avatar, and then especially Way of Water. Way of Water, I loved it. I loved the spectacle. I loved it as more of like an attraction and a ride type experience than a movie. A very long one, by the way. But see, here's the thing. After sitting through a 3+ hour 3D IMAX immersion thing with this once, it was like, I hate to say this, but it was enough for me. Now, maybe there's other people out there who can't get enough and they want to do it over and over and over again. But it kind of makes you a little sick to your stomach. I don't know if you noticed that like that immersion factor of it, especially the IMAX 3D. But also, if you've seen it, you've seen it. I when I heard the reviews for Fire and Ash and they said, well, it was a lot like Way of Water, I'm like, well, I don't really need to see that movie twice and pay $25 for it. It's going to come on Disney Plus, so eventually I'll watch it, but I don't care about the characters. There's no Han, there's no Leia, there's no Luke, there's no people that I really want to embrace and get behind and find out what is it that's going to happen to them next.
Definitely. It's definitely a technical spectacle more than the story, more than the characters, right? And Ron, you make a great point about the aftermarket. The aftermarket for Avatar, the original, used to be so strong. I remember when the 3D Blu-ray came out, you had to buy a TV just to get a copy of it. It was that crazy.
Which I did. which I did. I mean, actually, like insane. At that time, I paid $1,500 for a 3D television, which, by the way, it's broken now. We don't have that one anymore. But it did. I will say this: that $1,500 television came with a 32-inch HD TV for free, which we still have. I think no, we don't have that one anymore. That one's gone too. But exactly.
That's how crazy it was. And I think what's really interesting about this too is that the leap from Avatar 1, which was 2009, to 2022, when The Way of Water came out, there was a generational leap, multi-generational leap, actually, in high quality digital graphics technology and fidelity, right? So, like, everybody knew that, if we're going to see Avatar on the big screen in 2022, that's going to be a much different experience than 2009. I'm interested in seeing that because these are technical spectacles in terms of film, right? They're not really character driven, right? And they're not really story driven. It's really about the spectacle, and people, come in with that large expectation. And so I saw a lot of commentary on, well, that technical leap didn't exist between 2022 and 2025 with the Fire and Ash. And like you said, Ron, it kind of felt like you were seeing Way of Water again. So why bother paying the $25 for that markup?
I do think that you're right, Ron. They wanted who is the guy that made Avatar films?
James Cameron.
I really think he wanted us to, like you said, fall in love with these characters like we do with your Star Wars films and like with my Harry Potter films. There's no Harry, there's no Hermione, there's no Ron, just you, Ron, not the other Ron. But you're not in love with the characters. I think you're just basically seeing the film for the graphics and the special effects that he did or whatever. And I am more intrigued on watching behind the scenes of the movie than the movie itself. I love watching the behind the scenes. I think it's really, really cool the way they do it.
I would agree with that, which is another reason why I think that this is a whole different conversation, I know, but it's why I think that Disney's Hollywood Studios has become the wrong park. In a day and age where you could really highlight how CGI is used, how green screen is used, and all of that, and put that, like, can you imagine having the backlot tour where the tram takes you in onto a sound stage where everything is done with CGI, and then you have an interactive experience where all of a sudden they take 5 people out of the crowd and show how now you're going to be walking down a street in New York. Now you're going to be walking down a street in San Francisco. Now you're in a big alien battle. Like, that could be a whole experience, and Hollywood Studios is missing out on that. And you have the spectacle, you have this behind the scenes, you have these movies being created, but there's no synergy with the movies and the parks anymore. And yeah, it's kind of cool to kind of go to the land where you see this, but like, if I go to Pandora at Animal Kingdom, I don't really feel like I'm on the planet. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
You get a more out
Yeah.
of planet experience if you go to the Pandora store in Disney Springs, because the prices are out of this world.
That's good. That's a good point. Or the Pandora in the Tree of Life.
It's true. Vash, how long do we have you for? I thought I saw that you had to.
Oh yeah, you have a little bit longer with me, probably till the top of the hour at least.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I it's a very interesting discussion because we have multiple things playing out here. Definitely when Bob Iger comes in, he's like, hey, look, listen, any big project that we do, because remember, the newest project that would have opened on his watch would have been 2006's Expedition Everest, and the company spent a tremendous amount of money in that. Probably you're looking at anywhere between 100 and 200 million dollars. It's a big investment. It's not themed to anything. He's like, these should really be. I think internally they would call them brand deposits, but they should these experiences that we activate in the parks should be a reflection of what we're doing at the studio. And it should be a way of furthering the studio, its IP, and so forth. And that's why we've seen the completely removal of projects involving original IP and so forth, because it's just you're just not going to get the budgets to do that unless it's like Hong Kong, where that's a very specific market that won't respond to Disney's extended IP and so forth. But anyway, so you're seeing that, and so it's like when you look at Hollywood Studios, right? It's like, okay, well, we can do it off of how the movies are made, but like MJ pointed out, when the proliferation of DVD extras started to become a reality in the 90s and so forth, the idea of seeing how a movie was made was no longer, as at least in the research done by Universal and Disney on this front, it was no longer as engaging and didn't have the same consumer interest that walking into the movies and writing the movies did.
Yeah.
And then what do we see in 2010? We see the real big illustration of that idea, which is 2010's The Wizarding World, and what J.K. Rowling was able to accomplish in the themed entertainment space that nobody had done before. And now it's like, okay, this is all these things converging at once. Disney goes, we're going to do that. We're going to do immersive worlds now, not just immersive rides. And that's where you get, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Pandora, Cars Land, and the rest of it.
And Cars Land is fine, but in my opinion, Cars Land is the only one that Disney has really executed to the nth degree, comparative to Harry Potter and the Wizarding World. When you look at the Wizarding World, and I've not been to the one over in California, but as far as the Wizarding World here, I've been to all 3 of them, and you get lost when you go in Diagon Alley at Universal. You literally feel like you're in Diagon Alley. I when the first time I took Virginia there, my wife, she's like, "Is this where they filmed the movie?" Like, she literally thought it was filmed there because everything looks so real. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think the people from the movie actually thought that what they did, what they did with the Wizarding World seemed more like seemed more like the movie than the movie, right?
You know what would
Oh
be
yes.
so cool if Hollywood studios had an experience where they would like allow, young kids or even some adults that are interested to like put on some of those sticker thingies on their clothes, and then it would show them how Avatar was made, almost
The
like an
motion
experience.
capture dots. You
Yeah,
basically
like
talking about
something
that trick.
really cool. And people would eat that up and they would love that. That's the kind of stuff we really want to have and enjoy. Not everything has to be a ride. It could be an experience. Like you're in the movie, they put an avatar face on you so you look like one of the people from the film. I don't know. They're not
Well,
thinking creatively.
I've always wondered why they don't have stilt walkers who look like the Navi walking around. It wouldn't take that much. You could definitely do a Navi costume with stilt walkers that look legit. And they don't have
Yeah.
it. I've never understood that.
That's weird, right? That would have been so cool for them to just walk by you and you're like, "Oh, I'm in Pandora."
Yeah, and I mean there are ways to
Yeah.
implement shows. There are all kinds of things that could be done.
Mhm.
And I the one thing that I liked about the Eisner Wells era, and maybe it lasted even into the 2000s a little bit, when Bob Iger first came in. I don't even know if that he was paying as much attention to it back then, but back then they didn't seem to be afraid to spend money in the park
Yeah.
to make the parks a
Yeah.
better place for guests. And I feel like that's the big thing that we're missing now. You look at what Universal's doing. I mean, Universal, and I understand why they have to do it. People's psyches are ingrained in Disney, and people do not want to believe that Disney's experience is diminished. They really don't. And even those of us that know it has, you kind of, like, we grew up with Disney, we're ingrained in it. It's kind of like if Burger King suddenly became a lot better than McDonald's, or I don't know, that's a horrible example because neither one of them are particularly great, but like everybody knows the McDonald's name, so that's what people go to, and the McDonald's name is like the Disney name, right? So that's what people go to. But when it
Mhm.
comes to Universal, that's not as synonymous with this experience that we all had as children. And the dinks, the Disney adults, with dual income, no kids families, are I think they attribute all their good memories as kids to Disney, and now they want to somehow experience that as adults with the drinking and stuff. It's not the same, but they don't even realize that if Disney is catering to them, they're taking away experiences from future generations. And in my opinion, those future generations probably ought to head over to Universal.
I mean, Universal believes in the theme park business. That's the difference. I mean, we saw even Iger on the last earnings call. He talked about how Disney wasn't investing into its parks up until, well, the Bob Iger era, in which we had all this IP and we could install it in these parks, resorts, experiences, and so forth, and that's when we get the maximum ROI. But when you compare like the Eisner and Frank Wells era, right, and the amount they would spend on parks per year, it is a totally different paradigm. It's a totally different thing, and it's just it as Iger took control, and as the fallout from Disneyland Paris and so forth, and obviously the passing of Frank Wells, the mentality around the parks changed for Disney. It was, we could really lose our shirts on these if we invest too much and if we make the wrong investments. So what did we see? We saw the opening of Hong Kong. We saw Disney California Adventure. We saw Disney Studios Paris, now Disney Adventure World, which is basically just the ability to hold that land because they were on a 10-year land agreement. It was very complicated. But look at those parks. They're very cheap initially when they make their debut, and they are built up slowly as the company really needs to sink more investments and resources into them at a later date right there. But it really is fascinating when you look at the disparity between what Disney spends on the entertainment side versus the park side. Everybody's evangelizing about, $60 billion over 10 years for the experience division. That's a huge investment. And when you really look at it, it's not, because it comes down to $6 billion a year. And we know that half of that's going to be spent on maintenance. So really, we're talking about $3 billion a year in terms of capital investments for the parks, for expansions and new
But it's
attractions.
not just
Right?
that $3 billion is also going to the ships. It's also parks and experiences is a huge
spreads out
tent.
over.
And even Disney themselves at the time when they announced that said that it was mostly going to be on the back end. So we're not even getting the 3 at that point amongst the parks. Versus how much did Disney spend in 2025 on entertainment? Does anybody know that number? It was around $23 billion for the year.
Gosh.
That's the disparity. And when you look at the quarterly earnings, it's like, well, wait a minute. Entertainment brought in $11.41 billion, and they only brought in $1.1 billion worth of profit versus the parks division brought in $10 billion worth of revenue, but they brought in about $3.3 billion in profit. So you have one division who's bringing in all the profit, about 70% of the company's profit for the quarter. And when you extrapolate it out for the year, versus we're going to spend it's like almost 10 times on the entertainment side than we are on the park side. And that's what Ron is talking about. They're just simply not spending the capital that you would expect given how much profit comes from the experiences division. And it's super, super sad because Michael Eisner and Frank Wells, man, were they aggressive. I mean, you gotta think, what is it? Typhoon Lagoon, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Pleasure Island, I think all open within 6 months of each other. I mean, that's the amount of expansion that we saw. It was just so quick, so fast. People Michael Eisner really believed in that business and really poured resources into them, at least initially. And it's just so sad to see where Disney has become versus Universal. They believe it. They believe in the theme park business. And you saw 25% gains in terms of revenue from the prior year's quarter. When Epic Universe was added on. And that's completely additive. That's just Epic Universe. They believe in it, and they're putting the foot on the gas. And Disney is playing catch up right now, but I think in the wrong ways.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that Toy Story 5 thing? I'm afraid of that movie coming out.
Oh,
I'm just going to ignore that movie altogether.
Yeah, that's scary.
I think for now, maybe their only solution. Here you go, Vash. How about if they do the show The View live from the Disney parks?
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't give no ideas.
All right, we've got Go and Shogi chiming in here. Remember, for 18 months, people can try and deny the landslide that is the Disney company, but at some point, the smelling salts will hit them in the face. Time will tell. Yeah, it's what is the stock? No financial advice on the show, guys, but somebody check. And what has the stock done over the last 5 years, Vash?
Oh, I mean, it's gone down tremendously. So the high you're looking at dang near $200 a share almost. I mean, it's very, very close. I think it topped out maybe in the 180s, 190s. I can't quite remember, but it has dropped precipitously since then. And now you're looking at 107 or so on at least what it's trading at today. The stock has fallen from the Disney Plus Bob Chapek era and completely stalled out. I mean, it's hovered around the 90s, 110, 110s for a while now. And people are hoping that Bob, say Josh Giamaro can reinvigorate the stock, reinvigorate the company, and get that stock price up. The problem is where is that going to come from? Really, when you choose Josh Giamaro as your next CEO, you're saying the experiences division is something that's going to be of greater importance down the line, right? Well, experiences, at least in Disney's opinion, is not a huge revenue growth driver. It will incrementally provide revenue for the company, but it doesn't quite require or provide you the exponential growth that maybe an AI company does, and that's a big problem.
Well, one at least we have this for the last I don't know how many years. There's been one Bob or another Bob in charge of Disney. At least we'll not have a Bob anymore.
You know what's funny? Someone in the live chat put on the previous show how coincidental Cars, the film Cars, and we're talking about the very first one,
Right.
was
John Lasseter.
a John Lasseter thing. And now we have Dana Wilton sitting where he sat. And we have this experience, this attraction, this land being built in the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. But it's like, we were just talking about it as a family. There's no doubt there's going to be another Cars movie. Do you guys think there's going to be a Cars 4?
Oh, there has to be. I mean, they're building. If they're building a land, they're gonna do a movie if they can get all the stars back for it. Ciao. Owen Wilson has.
I want to know if they're going to have a car crash and say we got our next ghost.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I know they're not doing another Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn movie, so you know.
I thought
Now,
that was
Ron,
Tom and Hook.
I want to
What's
ask
that,
you,
Cash?
are we at all going to be talking about the rumors coming out of C-Suite and some other places regarding a Margot Robbie-led Pirates of the Caribbean vehicle?
We might be. Let's do this. We've got one celebration. I did put a goal for those. The goal is different here. I know the Wildman probably knows this. When I do the goals on my channel, a lot of times they're just like 99 cents and up. So anything works for the goal. If you guys do want to put it down there, we get 5 of those supers. We're going to do a Q&A with anybody that's left on the panel after. But let's celebrate this, and then we're going to get to this discussion. Which one do we want? Let's do this one.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect!
Oh, this is just the best of us seen. Erica.
Hey.
Erica's coming in.
Aloha.
Erica, you're a little low.
Yeah, I'm
There
still.
you go. Now you're really high.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
You're
Yeah.
super hot.
Very hot.
It's
Very hot.
weird.
Hot mic, come
Gentlemen, she's married.
in. Wild man, if you
That's
haven't
not
come
what I
in.
Top. Come on.
$1. $1. Wild man gets the goal. $1. And Wild man gets the goal. Erica, you have come in.
Wow.
You've come in just in time to do
Yeah.
our big time celebration for the goal.
Yay.
Everybody get ready. Let's all celebrate.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is so nice. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy. On the
then after all that, flying blind on a rocket cycle comes in. How about this? Based on someone misspeaking from that Park Place, Dana Walden's alter ego, who is also Wilton's sister, Dana Wilton.
Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but have you guys seen the clip that they did Wilton as Dana Wilton? Oh, I died.
Oh no.
No, not
I
yet.
died. Oh, I died. It's in Slack. You guys have to go check it out. It's so
I'll
funny.
have to check. We'll have to check that out there.
It's hilarious. Don't drink anything while you watch it, because you
Flying
will
blind on a
gotta try to
rocket
drink something
cycle.
as I watch it.
We got to celebrate this one too, and this celebration is filled with plants and bologna sausage.
You know, this performance, they should have just had Coulter perform at the halftime show. I don't understand why they don't hire him and have him go do it. Okay, it's done.
Because
Next
security
year
would
we
be
have
afraid
it.
to go near him. He might throw them around.
All right, I want to hand it to Vash for a second because he had brought something up. Vash, about the Pirates thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's been some rumors emanating out of various outlets. I think it was the Diz Insider or somebody who are suggesting that it is a big initiative within the upcoming management team, that being Josh D'Amaro and Dana Walden, that they successfully, this time anyway, relaunch the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. And this time with Margot Robbie leading the lead role. I had originally heard about this rumor involving a Margot Robbie-led Pirates of the Caribbean film franchise relaunch. This is going back like 5, maybe even longer years back in the day. And the idea being that Johnny Depp, you know, obviously he's getting up in years, can't lead the film franchise forever, and his box office potential was diminishing just a little bit, especially around, you know, the release of Alice in Wonderland 2 and also to Pirates of the Caribbean 5. And so it was like, okay, well, maybe it's time to hand off the franchise to somebody else. And obviously, there was definitely a concerted effort to reimagine these franchises as being more female-led. We saw that with Star Wars, we saw that with Marvel, and now why don't we go ahead and do it with Pirates of the Caribbean? Obviously, we know the success rate of that idea. But suffice it to say, it's like, okay, well, we have this Red character from the parks, right? Red, you know, being featured in the now revised auction scene in Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and take Red, make her a prominent character, and have Jack Sparrow hand off the franchise to Margot Robbie for a feature vehicle. The issue is, I think there's a real misunderstanding of that film franchise and how it's, you know, it's almost like Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. It's just you can't remove that element from it, or else I don't think it quite works. And two, Johnny Depp's star power, especially following the Amber Heard trial, has just accelerated, has just skyrocketed. People are really, really in demand, I think, of a Johnny Depp return. And so this is just a grave miscalculation. And so where might this be coming from? I do believe this is Dana Walden. I do believe this is kind of going to be her first mark as the CCO. If this is actually for real, which there's evidence to suggest it might be.
So this is out of comingsoon.net, and this was just written on February 5th. Pirates by Maggie de la Paz, Pirates of Caribbean 6, Update reveals writing surprising character. So this might be what you're talking about. Disney's long rumored Pirates of the Caribbean 6 has finally received an interesting update teasing the next main character of the blockbuster franchise. The studio has been trying to revive Pirates of the Caribbean franchise for a long while now, with Academy Award nominee Margot Robbie previously attached to lead a rumored spinoff. Who is writing Pirates of the Caribbean 6? According to Jeff Snyder, Disney's newly appointed CEO Josh D'Amaro and President Dana Walden are reportedly prioritizing the revival of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. The insider claimed that Academy Award nominee Christy Wilson Carnes, 1917, is said to be in talks with the studio to write the screenplay for Pirates of the Caribbean 6. In addition, he also revealed that the reboot might potentially center around Jack Sparrow's son and a female-led character. The latter is expected to be played by Robbie, who was originally meant to lead a Pirates of the Caribbean spinoff. Disney is reportedly looking to create an original, iconic character one envisioned as a punk rock cross between Jack Sparrow and Emma Stone's Cruella de Vil. I'm sorry, but that doesn't sound anything like it would work.
Shiver me timbers, that made me ill. I want to keelhaul myself.
Arg, is that yeah, go ahead, Bash.
It's interesting, that description. Isn't that kind of what Margot Robbie is kind of known for when it comes to her playing of Harley Quinn?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the Harley Quinn Pirates.
She's been shifting around with her roles and really showing other characters that she can portray. Like, for example, Wuthering Heights is coming out, and she's in that film. She was in. I just saw her in another movie. Oh, obviously, you guys know she did Barbie. So I mean, she's showing that she can go from like this crazy, wild, psychotic, if you will, rambunctious character in that movie you guys know her in, and then she's in these other like Barbie, and now this one where she's in like a romantic Bridgerton meets 50 Shades of Grey, if you will. And then now she's got this if she's going to be in the Pirates. But you guys are so right on target. This is like Indiana Jones film series. You cannot replace these characters with other actors. It's just not going to work. It's not going to, it's not going to put the puzzle together for us Pirates of the Caribbean fans. You're going to kill the series.
You're definitely going to kill the series.
We'll be yelling Red instead of Ray in objection.
Red
would suck.
Yeah.
Well, Margot Robbie's super talented, right? I mean, you see her, flesh out roles, whether it be Wolf of Wall Street, right? I, Tonya, Barbie, like you said. But outside of Barbie, she really hasn't been a very successful box office draw by herself. She's got limited uptake right there. Now, Barbie, extremely popular, right? But was it the strength of her or the strength of IP or franchise or both? That's really going to be an interesting question for Disney to ask itself, because Johnny Depp, right? I mean, Johnny Depp led Pirates of the Caribbean films. Those are multi-billion-dollar films there for sure. And so it's like, okay, well, if we do this, like you said, MJ, do we risk actually, destroying this franchise like we've done so many others that we've tried to feminize recently in its most recent history? And this is kind of the danger of placing somebody like Dana Walden in this role. And it's very, very interesting. I was reading this Variety article, catching up on everything that's been going on. And there's this little blip in there that says that suggests anyway that Dana Walden apparently carved out her own responsibilities from the CEO role she knew she wasn't going to get when it was clear that she wasn't going to get it. And it's fascinating because I've never seen that before. Usually when you're promoted, you're handed the roles given. But apparently, as part of her president CCO position that she was able to carve out for herself, she was actually able to absorb responsibilities from the CEO role that would have otherwise been given to her or the CEO, that being Josh D'Amaro. And that's partially why she was able to get a higher base pay than Josh Tomorrow. Very fascinating stuff. And it shows the level of aggression that she has. And we've heard that she's been a champion of women-led franchises, and Kathleen Kennedy, when they wanted her out, right? Alan Bergman wanted her out, Kathleen Kennedy, Dana Walton wanted her to stay, and so forth.
You know, for a group of people that it has a difficult time even defining what the word women is, they sure do want women in a lot of things. I hope that they, which I don't really have a problem with. The thing with the Pirates, though, Pirates is pretty much synonymous with Johnny Depp right now. So if the character is brought in as some type of a foil to Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow, it could potentially work, but it's never going to be a character that can lead the franchise, because that character is Johnny Depp. I mean, Johnny Depp has become synonymous with pirates in a way that Harrison Ford is synonymous with Indiana Jones, and you cannot really separate those two, no matter what you do. It's like trying to move Star Wars completely away from the Skywalker saga. They messed it up by making Rey a Skywalker when she's a Palpatine, but the final 3 films should have had something to do far more centered around Luke and Han and Leia, and them properly passing off the torch to a new group. And they dropped the ball on that, and they're going to drop the ball on this if they go forward with it. So I don't.
Well, what's very interesting about Pirates of the Caribbean is that it was already a 4-quadrant hit, right? You had male fans, but you did have a huge female fan base that loved to see Johnny Depp or even some of the other characters, like Orlando Bloom, for instance, in that film franchise. And it really did appeal to females, maybe even more so in some cases than it did to males. And so, Erica, MJ, as the women on this panel here, I understand you're not representing all women, but for you personally, would you like to see a Margot Robbie-led Pirates of the Caribbean film or a Johnny Depp-led Pirates of the Caribbean film in 2026, 7, 8, so forth?
Give me Pirates that was like the first movie. The pirates were hot guys, okay? And then you had the really pretty girl, the damsel in distress, and the hot pirate guy came and rescued her, and they fell in love. We're very simple creatures. That's what we like for entertainment. It's a simple formula. Just stick with it and don't screw it up.
Amen. I agree with her. I second that motion.
Is it really that
there
difficult?
You go.
I mean, the old themes work for a reason. Bad versus good. Good overcomes evil. The guy and the girl meet. The guy gets the girl gets the guy. However you want to phrase that,
people
works.
get offended at masculinity, men being masculine. Okay, what is wrong with a guy that's like totally ripped and he's rescuing you, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and he grabs you and takes you in his arms? I mean, women, we love that.
We eat that up.
Yes, yum yum yum.
Offended heterosexuality. That's what it is. They're offended at men and women being bonded together.
There's a reason why this trope, as it were, has endured for centuries, and as part of storytelling that transcends culture and time. It's kind of that Joseph Campbell idea, right? The hero's journey. But more than that, though, the damsel in distress, being rescued by a hot guy, right? That has occurred, in stories and mythology, in various places of the world, in various time periods, right? In feudalist Japan, in ancient China, in various areas of India, Indonesia, and so forth. It doesn't matter the culture. It doesn't matter the time period. That's a trait that has endured for generations and generations and generations. So I think this is why us humans have a visceral reaction to when we see things that aren't necessarily consistent with that, right? And yeah, I understand you could have a strong female personality. That's fine. But if you undercut those basic tenets right there, this is when you run into problems, especially with film franchises and box office as a whole.
Well, then just write something for her to star in. Don't ruin something that's already in place.
Was
Those
there
are true.
another series that they removed Depp from and they had negative consequences for that?
I forgot.
I believe
what
it
that
had
was.
something to do with Harry Potter theme and
Oh, the one Ministry of Magic. What it's based off of? Yeah, the
Fantastic Beast from
Fantastic
2 to
Beasts.
3.
Yeah.
Right.
From,
Well,
I'm a huge Johnny Depp girl. I even loved him in movies like Secret Window, and then there was that movie's great. If no one has seen it, go watch it. It's really like it
I've never
messes with
disliked
you.
anything then.
All of his movies are really good. His Tim Burton films.
Stand
And
him
he's
and
Edward. This is Edward Scissorhands, for
I didn't
heaven's
do
sake.
that movie.
Oh, you don't like Edward
I
Scissorhands?
didn't like his role in it. I didn't like how that.
Oh,
Well,
That's a funny movie.
Well, go ahead, Ron, please.
no, I was just going to say that, like, I mean, this is a discussion that could go on for a while, but I think the bottom line is, that's the issue that I have with Dana Wilton, whatever we want to call her, coming in the first place. Is
So we call her KK too.
Yeah, we could call her KK too. You don't want to put 3 Ks together, that's for sure. But but yeah, it's I think having her in that creative role scares the heck out of me. I'm worried that she's going to be the one that asked for 3 showers over Bob's 2, and that if there are more creative decisions that happen like this, it's going to have a negative effect on the entertainment, and it's also going to have a negative effect on the parks. But Vash, I'll give you the final word on that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is why I think it was very interesting that Ben Fritz recently in the Wall Street Journal had a little blip in one of his articles talking about how the executives at the movie and film division for Disney were very concerned about Dana Walden getting the CCO spot, this chief creative officer role and president at the Walt Disney Company, because while Dana is associated with entertainment and the entertainment side of the business, she's only associated with the television or streaming side of the business primarily, like Hulu, Disney Plus, FX, and so forth. She really has no ties to the film division. And so these film executives are kind of nervous about the possibility or the idea that she be leading them on a creative level, given that she has no prior association with them. So I think it's really fascinating. Even now, you're hearing this kind of pushback on Dana Walden, even within the entertainment side of the business. So what does that mean for the parks? What does that mean for the movies, especially when we're going over decisions like a Margot Robbie-led vehicle for Pirates of the Caribbean? It's just I am very nervous about this, and Josh Duhamel should be too, because his legacy is also on the line here. If they screw up in entertainment, who's going to get the blame for that? It's going to be Dana Walden. It's going to be Josh Duhamel. Now, if the entertainment is successful, particularly out of TV and streaming, who's going to get the credit for that? And that's the real danger that Josh Duhamel finds himself in. This is almost a lose-lose here. Again, I'd be wargaming right now and figuring out how to get rid of Dana Walden.
How can he get rid of her?
You can
legally. How can he do that as with his position?
He can initiate the removal process. To do it cleanly, though, he would need board approval. Because if he acts outside of the board,
and
then the
you
board
have
can
to have,
actually remove
you
him.
have to have some time of her being in the position to see what happens first.
Yeah,
correct.
But
that's true.
I will say this: as far as anybody is concerned and looking forward with whatever Dana Walden is going to put out, probably you're going to want to do this.
Lowered expectations.
Can you update that, Ron? So they're walking through the muck. It used to be the rivers of America.
Oh no, you're gonna make me cry again. No,
I don't know.
Send me that clip. I'll do that for you. I'll mess with it.
We would have to figure that out. We've
I can
got.
do that.
I know. What I don't. Do you? Can you stay with us for a second, Vash? We only have one more short thing to do.
Sure, please.
Okay. Well, we do have a Q&A, and this is from the goal. And if you want to write Q&A by anything else, we might take a few more of those since we met the goal. We've got theme park foods. would you gravitate more towards the overall theme or the actual type of food? We'll start with Vash. We'll go around.
Yeah, so theme or actual type of food. Yeah, this idea, I think what we're talking about here is like Star Wars what is it, the not Galaxy's Edge, but the hotel, right? The Star Cruiser. It had various types of food, but they were very in theme. They were dyed all these different colors and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't care for that kind of stuff. I care for really good eats, right? So when I go to the Wizarding World, yes, they have kind of English fare, but at least in my experience, it's been very high quality. Their apple pies are phenomenal, by the way, at least at Universal Studios Hollywood. Oh my goodness, so good. Butterbeer, it's in theme, but it's really good. It's really tasty. I always gravitate towards type of food and the quality of foods more than the actual theme itself. I understand that you want these things to be immersive, but it's got to be good. And I think that's why Blue Milk, for example, doesn't do anything, right? Because they prioritized theme over quality and taste.
Listen, I had it with the rum in it. It still didn't help it, and I like rum. Okay.
Wow.
No good. No good.
Are you a food over theme or theme over food, Tom?
I like food over theme. For instance, well, actually, Epic. I always forget the name of the Blue Dragon or the Red Dragon. I always confuse it. But that place, it's themed nice, but the food is done great. So the theming there is nice, but the food is done really well. Like Vash was saying in the Wizarding World, the France Pavilion, themed to that type of area, but not themed to the wizard. It's not going to pop up and be purple and pink potatoes on your plate. Sorry.
Purple potatoes? We like purple
I said
potatoes.
purple and pink. I added pink.
All right. Well, MJ, we're circling over to you, and then we'll go to Erica.
Oh man, I gravitate definitely over real food, like the actual food type. I prefer to see like a plate of food in front of me that I'm like, okay, that's salmon. Those are mashed potatoes, some asparagus. But when it comes to snacks and beverages that are themed to something that I like, I will purchase it and I will try it. So it depends on your likings. If you have like, for example, if in Toy Story Land, if you like something from the film, at Woody's Lunchbox, they have the little snacks that are kind of themed to the film. Just get it. Even if it doesn't taste the greatest, like that Star Wars cookie with the Chewbacca belt on top in Hollywood Studios, just get it. It's not, you're not going to die.
The Wookiee cookie.
You're not going to die by eating the Wookiee cookie. And if you
I've
do,
eaten
I'm
the
sorry.
Wookiee cookie. I'll be honest, the Wookiee cookie is a little too chewy for
I'm
me.
not going to say anything. I just got to shut up right now.
Just don't,
Erica?
just try it. Just try it.
Erica, what's your take?
As someone who loves Halloween and does threads theming and food every year, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say food, type of food. So when I'm planning out my menu for friends that are coming over, I'm more worried about the type of food that I'm going to have because I want to make sure people are going to eat. The theming comes in second to that. I can figure out ways to theme around comfort food that I know my group of friends will eat. So you just have to, it doesn't take a creative genius to pull that off. You know how many different names you can give, the little cocktail sausages for any theme, or empanadas or chips and salsa. I mean, those are simple comfort foods that everyone likes at parties, and it's not hard to give it a cute name that goes in theme with your party. And theming can be anything else. Sweets, like to MJ's point, desserts, I think, are easier to theme than savory foods. You can really shape you can shape a cake, you can shape a Rice Krispie treat, you can shape cookies and then decorate them accordingly to your theme.
Well,
So
plus,
I,
if you have Disney experience, you'll know that you
Shape
can
language.
use shape language to
Yes.
create these.
A cookie.
Yeah.
yeah,
For,
So
Oh
they
true.
for
can
my
take their
me,
God.
shape language and shove it up their.
shove it up their
I
cake.
have to agree with our friend Go and
shape.
Shogi. Holy
Yeah.
cow, what does it take to perfect a cupcake? A few weekends ago, we were at the All-Star Resorts, and they have a really cool selection of like cupcakes and cookies and Rice Krispies treats. Why can't it taste good? Why is the gas station cupcake better than that cupcake that I had over there? And it was like this tall, and I shared it with my daughter, and I'm like, this tastes bad.
Yeah.
And we were looking forward to it because we like peppermint and we like chocolate. And this was a few weekends ago when it was really cold. And I'm like, why is this cupcake? And I took pictures of it because it's so cute, but it doesn't deliver. There's no excuse. It should be really good quality ingredients, tasty, and look really cute.
Gentlemen,
So
what she's saying is if you give a cupcake to a woman and it doesn't deliver, run.
Yeah,
Ruh-roh.
Yeah. So
I love
mine
cake.
is
That
mine is
checks.
taste. Mine is definitely the food over the theme. But giving you that, I'm going to give you my favorite themed foods that I've had lately. My favorite themed food that I had was Isle of Burke. The it's called the PB&J, but it's not peanut butter, and it's like pork, bacon, and jam.
I want to try that one.
Macaroni and cheese cone over at Isle of Burke because it was themed, but it was also like amazing as far as the
Very
taste,
cool.
the flavor, everything that went with it. It was great. The themed foods that I have enjoyed at Disney, there's one that I keep going back to. It's the what are they called? It's the ribs, but I always forget what they're called. At Docking Bay 7, it's
Caddy
such
ribs?
a
Those were good.
weird.
Those
Yeah,
were
the Caddy
good.
rib. But and you have to get them because I've tried them with different sides before. They come with the oddest two sides. They come with a blueberry muffin and this kind of red purple cabbage coleslaw stuff. But
It's
it
delicious.
works.
It's
It
so freaking good.
works.
And you know what? I'm actually surprised Docking Bay 7 was so good because I was expecting it. My expectations were lowered, very
Yeah.
lowered. And I was like, oh, and then he looks at me, he goes, we ate here before. And I'm like, no, we didn't eat here before. So I ended up getting, I have a whole list and I'll send it over to you guys. It was really good. Everything was
Yeah.
good. Even the drink I got was good. I couldn't believe it. 'cause I
Everything
was
I've had
really,
at Docking
like,
Bay is really good, and they have some
it's
good
good.
vegetarian options too. And then Sa'atuli Canteen, their bowls that they're supposed to be themed of somehow, and the desserts over there are it's all Sa'atuli Canteen. Probably my favorite place overall to eat in Disney because it's consistently good. It's not just good, but it's consistently good with the desserts and everything. So those are my favorites. But we've also had a couple more super chats come in. I think that MJ talked about this one. Go and Shogi says there is no excuse for $5 for the chefs not to be able to pull off both taste and theming. If they want to be called professionals, that's a game. I'm sure that Chef Eddie would agree with you. Go and Shogi's a fantastic chef. By the way, Go and Shogi has an Instagram. And he put some amazing foods on there. So go and check that out, guys. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle has come in with anyone get the Harry Potter every flavor jelly beans? I did. Whoops. Yes. So I have had booger, grass, dirt. I forget what are the other flavors.
There's so many. It's disgusting.
Vomit. Yes,
vomit. And there's I think worm.
Or like earwax.
Earwax is one. They are
slug, like a slug.
And
there's a spider one too. I think
my 100% along with this worst themed food are in Jurassic Park. In the Jurassic Park area of Universal Islands of Adventure, you can get flavored crickets.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, you can get those, and you get the bugs in the lollipops. I sent them to my nephews, and I got back from my sister. What the hell is that?
I didn't know. They've had those for years. You can You can get them with scorpions in them too. They've had those out for years. But in Japan, they actually have like sea urchin critters that are dried out just in packets. And we're talking like at Toys R Us.
In Japan and China, they eat so much live food. It's disgusting. It's like, oh, look, my live shrimp are trying to pop out of my mouth while I'm eating them. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's true. If you can stomach what they eat over there, you'll eat anything.
Oh, so nasty. So we got but hey, thanks for the super chats and the Q&A, and that means it is time to celebrate before our last story. You guys ready? Let's celebrate.
We got to get
All
Eric
right,
a
guys.
cupcake. She needs a cupcake now, guys.
Yeah, now I want a cupcake, dang it.
There is I've got it. All right, this is our last story. This is not a story out of a news outlet. We are just going to respond to something that I saw. We're going to talk about the Bad Bunny show. Going to talk about the Super Bowl show. Now, I didn't watch either of the Super Bowl halftime shows live last night because I fell asleep. I think it was
You're better off.
Yeah. I came out. My wife had just watched the Bad Bunny show. I've watched the Bad Bunny show this morning. I didn't really have too much of an issue with what they showed on like to the public, but I with Vash, what he has talked about before is that if you were actually at the stadium, you didn't see that much. Like it was horrible. The actual live performance was horrible because it was all shot for television specifically. And so what they did, you could see in the television, but what I noticed, and I think you have this on there. Yeah. So Vash has got this. This is great. Look at what the people. So there, you got a couple people dancing in the stands. Most people not really knowing what's going on. This is what they were dancing to.
Ron, you said you hear that in Orlando.
Every time I'm at a red light, like
it's over here too, dude.
Somewhere it's like I can do it with my mouth. I don't really need to have it on the radio. And that
what's funny? It's mostly women dancing. The guys aren't moving.
Right.
Well, yeah, no,
it's not like salsa. Salsa, men and women, anyone can dance to salsa. Okay,
well,
but not reggaeton. It's perverse dancing. It's perverted hunching. It's an excuse to hump and grind. It's what it is.
Well, what I wanted to show though, and this was interesting, is out of all of that, and I know we had a little bit of a footage of this, but I want to show you this picture. Now, you may not have picked up on what I picked up on in this picture, but if you look at the center of the picture in the white camisole top and the jeans, that is Jessica Alba. And they called this the casita. There's Bad Bunny in front in his white uniform.
And there's Pedro on the left there.
Exactly. Go to the left, and there's Pedro Pascal. That means that two of the members of the Fantastic Four from the Marvel Cinematic Universe are actually in this casita. Which
you couldn't see the thing. He was in a tree.
Yeah, he kind of, the way Pedro was, he kind of kept trying to duck behind stuff. But yeah, and I did notice this. Did anybody notice how he signed off? Anybody see that part?
I didn't watch the Bad Bunny show. I watched the TPUSA one.
Okay. I've watched both of them. Honestly, this is my honest opinion. I thought as far as production value, Bad Bunny wins because he's got millions of dollars of production value behind him. TP USA probably won on talent. I didn't really personally care for either one of the shows. If you want my honest opinion, I didn't really care that much for anyone. There's a song Lady Gaga did. The song is normally with Bruno Mars and her, but I've actually heard better versions of it. And I think it's called "Die with a Smile." I like that song. Ricky Martin showing up was a surprise, and I actually like Ricky Martin, so a pleasant surprise there. But it really, most of the show I thought was, generally speaking, probably not appropriate for family audiences, and probably not appropriate that they actually had kids with them on the stage. And but they actually used one of the kids as a prop, as this kind of cute moment that they were trying to win your heart over, where Bad Bunny gave his Grammy to a child. I don't know if you saw that. It was obviously convoluted. Yes, Ricky Martin, Fenris. It was pretty wild, but it was funny to see this, because I thought, was this the MCU's way of sneaking a commercial for Doomsday in without having to pay for it?
They brought Doomsday.
This is the
Yeah,
thing.
right?
And Go and Shogi makes a really good point, because I am looking at the live chat while you're talking, Ron. And as a daughter of a musician who is now retired, who played with major bands, look at the 90s. Let's talk about Gloria Estefan, because nobody here on the panel.
Oh, I love Gloria Estefan.
Okay, hold on. Come on, everybody, let me do that conga. Come on, everybody, look at that.
Okay, now I'm on Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Very true.
I'm just saying, like, if an artist did something like that, where you have a little bit of Latin flavor, you're singing in frickin' English in the United States of America. Oh my God. And then you have, the dancers in the background and a live band. Now you're talking about a performance. Everyone's happy. Everyone's moving. Even the American, your white American that is not Hispanic, it can enjoy. This is not enjoyable, because you don't even know the mumbo jumbo crap that's coming out of his mouth. And I can say that because my dad is a Puerto Rican man. He was born in the Bronx. And this is insulting. Like, those reggaeton lyrics. First of all, I don't like reggaeton. I don't allow it in my house. I don't want it near my children. It's not music, it's noise. And if you want to dive deep really quick, they stole reggae from Jamaica and they twisted it and made it into their own thing. Dominican Republic does it as well. It's not music. They're reusing the same beat to talk about to degrade women. Okay, you think hip hop is bad?
50 Shades of Grey type of lyrics.
Yeah.
In their music, and it's not for kids. And even once you translate the lyrics, it's pretty appalling what was being sung on stage.
Really? Yeah, I didn't understand the lyrics. Now, there are a lot of Spanish songs that I know and very much like Bailando. It's one of my favorite songs ever, and I could sing Bailando all day long and love that song.
Because it's clean and it has a good beat, and you understand what it is. You get it. You're like, okay, I can move to this. How are you going to move to a Bad Bunny song?
I don't care about the Spanish. But I would want to know that the Spanish lyrics are going to be, clean enough that if I spoke Spanish, I'd be okay. It was the thing of it is, we need there would be no reason for Turning Point USA to have done an alternative show if they selected an artist that didn't have any controversies around him. And there is a plethora of Spanish singing artists, tons of them to choose from. They didn't have to choose Bad Bunny, and Bad Bunny's actually performed at the Super Bowl before. I think he performed didn't he perform in the J-Lo and Gloria Estefan? Not Gloria Estefan. It was Shakira. J-Lo and Shakira. I think he performed in that show at some point in time, but
probably like a little snippet.
Yeah. But Yeah, I think that they could have done it seems like when they made the choice, that it was a choice more about sowing division than about unification. And I personally feel like I said, I didn't really care for either one of these shows in particular. But I do think it's funny to me that they kind of snuck in the MCU and Fantastic Four here. And I don't know, Vash, did you see the shot too where there were actually people in the stadium watching the TPUSA show on their phones?
Oh, I did not see that. That's pretty funny right there. I mean,
hilarious.
look, well, when you look at the stadium goer, the average stadium goer, you're looking at only 1% of seats, I think, are even available to the public. And those go for well over $7,000. A lot of the people there are family or executives or people associated with the NFL. Either, I think 35% of the tickets go to people associated with the two teams that are in the Super Bowl. The next 35% for all the other 30 teams that aren't there. And then it just gets whittled down from there. So you have a lot of people who might be supportive of the NFL and its interests. And so them not being interested in the Super Bowl halftime show in front of them is really, really quite the statement right there. But look, Apple Music and the NFL specifically has been wanting to expand the international audience that watches the NFL. And I think they really did hone in on the Latin America market, which is certainly a growing market when it comes to NFL and the proliferation of that sport and so forth. So it's like, okay, well, Bad Bunny, yeah, he's not big in the US, but in terms of international, he's huge. He's a huge streaming player, right? And so it's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and capitalize on that, expand our game out. We'll be fine. The problem is well, one, this is the Super Bowl itself, right, is a huge cultural export, especially for the United States. It should probably reflect the United States just a little bit more, or at least, have feature artists that at least can be understood in English. It's probably the way to go broadly. But even specific to this year, remember, this is 2026. This is a 250th anniversary of the country. Wouldn't it have been great to have a Super Bowl halftime show that embodied the 250th celebration, right? It would have, I think, all worked out.
That would have been
instead,
the smarter choice.
Yeah, instead you go with an artist who is, very passionate about Puerto Rico and his Hispanic and Latin America culture, but is maybe necessarily exclusionary to other cultures and so forth, which is not great. Look, we've had artists from across the pond perform at the Super Bowl. We've had Shakira and J-Lo and so forth. It's not really racial or cultural. It's just was it appropriate for the moment, and certainly was an artist like Bad Bunny the best choice to go with. I don't necessarily see the evidence for that.
Plus, and it felt like at a time with the Super Bowl.
I'm noticing
the Super Bowl should be an American celebration, and basically a celebration of all things that are, generally speaking, just patriotic, that everybody can agree upon together. Doesn't matter what side you're on, this or that. But this seemed more like a political statement against, specifically against the person in charge right now.
So true.
Why you don't do that at the Super Bowl? That's not the appropriate place for it. Tom, you were going to say.
I'm just looking at the crowd, and I'm noticing something security standpoint. I'm looking at the security guards, and I'm looking at how they are and at what they're doing in their handlers. And you notice they're older gentlemen of Caucasian, persuasion.
Very true.
That is very true. But a lot of people are confused, and I will just end it with this, because people are excited. Okay, they have a Hispanic performer. Okay, he's not representing Latin culture, Latin America. This is reggaeton is a specific Caribbean. It came out of if I want to dive deep into this thing. I know Puerto Rico has reggaeton. I know I forget what that other country, maybe Panama. But this is not representing Latin culture in any way, shape, or form. You go to Colombia, you're going to have different type of music. You're talking about salsa, merengue. It's just like, okay, what about Mexico? How is this representing any Mexican? Have their mariachis, they have their serenades and all these. It's not representing Latinos. I am a Hispanic, by heritage. I was born in this country. I am an American woman. I want to see American performers. If you happen to be from another country, fine. But you need to give people, you need to be able to entertain people in this country the way that they deserve to be entertained. And that is in English with actual live, like a live band, or if you don't have a live band, an orchestra or something, because it's called entertainment with dancers. You got to be someone really talented. These Latin culture, the lyrics are beautiful. They're romantic. They are not perverse. It's not talking about what you're going to do to a woman in the bedroom. And that's what reggaeton does. It's degrading women. It talks about what you're going to do to them in the worst possible way. I believe Erica even pulled out the lyrics and translated it in English. I don't know if we have a way of posting that. It is disgusting.
I don't know if I would post it. It's really bad.
Post,
so bad.
I'm not going to post that.
That's why I compared it. That's why, and the thing of it, like, to your point, MJ, being very much, even though I'm half Cuban, half American, but my Cuban heritage was very much a heavy influence in my life. My grandparents, I was at their house all the time. My first language is actually Spanish. So to your point, most Latinos, we are conservative when it comes to our morals in terms of what we're teaching our kids, boys how to treat girls and girls how to respect themselves, and that reggaeton is very offensive to, I would say, the base moral standard of most Hispanic families. By and large, we are Christian and we are conservative. I don't know what that is, but that's ghetto. And, most of us tell our kids, I'm raising a lady or I'm raising a gentleman. I'm not raising a cualquiera.
was also
cualquiera, by the way, is like a whatever girl like a street girl.
Like a street girl, yeah.
Right. I'm just translating.
Or like a home wrecker. There's another name for that. But pick your Spanish adjective. It's a degrading.
And Virginia, you're right. I do see your comment there, Virginia Bradley. I agree with you. This country is multilingual, but I will say this till I die. The Bible says a man without a vision will perish. Okay, you're from another country. You have a vision. You want to come here to this country. You want to do something with yourself. You want to provide for your family, open a business, the American dream. That's why it's called America. So when you come here, you need to adapt. You need to learn English. And I came from a family that did such. And I respect that. And I teach my children the same thing. My kids actually don't speak any Spanish. And anyone can judge me. That's fine. I get hit for it all the time. You're here. You can just speak English. There's no need for that other. There's no need for it. Okay. That's just my opinion.
I was quite surprised about the stereotypical imagery and iconography featured in this as well. I mean, it ran the gamut. It wasn't just the music choice, but it was also what story was being told. And I thought that was a little bit offensive just in itself, because of course I have Hispanic heritage myself. And I was like, really? You're going to showcase that side of the Latin experience? Not great all around.
No, that's not who you are. That's not who I am. That's not who she is. That's not. We have 3 panelists here that have some Hispanic running through our veins, Latin blood, and we're offended by it because it doesn't represent us at all. At all.
Hey, listen, I'm close enough. I got some Italian in me. Leave me alone.
Well, my grandparents came to America. They didn't speak English. And primarily because it was so difficult to learn a second language. Not everybody has that ability to learn another language. It is very difficult, and they came over to the US when they were well into their adulthood. My dad, was young, but I'm not going to judge even Hispanics that don't speak Spanish. That doesn't mean they haven't assimilated to our culture and way of life and identify as American. Not everyone can learn a second or third language. And me being in Europe, in the middle of Europe, in Germany, I've been here 12 years. I have yet to learn German. That is how hard it is. And I already know two languages. I already know two languages, and they say it's easy to pick up a third one if you know two. And I'm like, in theory, yes, but not everybody actually can. It is very, very difficult. So I'm not judging anyone if they're in a foreign country and you can't fully, assimilate with the language, but there are other ways of assimilating into a culture and blending in and making your way, and abiding by the laws of the lands, and living a tranquil, harmonious life,
Yeah. Well, all I can say is that we have two languages spoken in my household. I don't really care about the language. I care about the messaging, and the messaging of Bad Bunny is bad. And frankly, I think that depending on who you are, it could also be very confusing, and you could end up like this guy.
So I think what happened is I went to Epcot. You can go around the whole world, and I had a couple in the Germany section, and I thought I went to China. Anyway, I'm a knucklehead. But I'm sure this...
The message of the day is don't be a knucklehead. We do have...
Very quickly, Ron, I've actually got to run right now before the super chat section. I very much apologize to everybody. Please, if you're giving, thank you so much on behalf of Ron here and every single panelist out there. Thank you so much for donating to Ron's amazing channel. But if you want to go ahead and find me, you can find me at Bash Sky Parkcast. I have commented a couple times in the chat. If you follow that, you can go ahead and link to my channel. Oh, Go Chogi has my link right there. Thank you so much.
I was going to say,
subscribe there.
He's usually good on top of that stuff. So
content is coming, folks. I'm working a big video right now, an exploration of Josh D'Amaro and what we can expect from his tenure as CEO. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to that. Thank you so much for having me on, Ron. And we'll see you all very, very soon on whatever platform I may end up showing up.
Thank you so much, Vash, and we will see you again soon, and have me on all your stuff.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, and then we have also from Go and Shogi, $10. Thank you for the super chat, Go and Shogi. There's so many great Latin artists that would have gotten everyone up and moving that they could have picked from, but their goal wasn't joy. It was postmodern art statement meant to lecture. And that's never should be the goal of entertainment. It should never be the goal of entertaining an audience of hundreds of millions, potentially. Entertainment should be the goal. Fun, family, fare that everybody can enjoy without offending anybody. And I know that's hard to do, but in generally speaking, you should be able to have a show that maybe it offends a few on very, very fringe levels, but for the most part can be enjoyed by everybody. When you have a show that motivates another organization to create an alternative show, and that alternative show gets 25 million viewers, then you've probably done something wrong. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, I don't really have much of a foot in the game because I could.
Does anybody remember who the last show for the Super Bowl was last year? The halftime show last year?
It was Kendrick Lamar, and it was garbage.
Okay, how about the year before that?
I think it was like a combination of 50 Cent and
I remember a Snoop Dogg.
Dr. Dre, the East Coast rappers, West Coast rappers. Forgive me, God.
So you're talking 3 years and go
West
back to the
Coast.
4th year. Now we know why Turning Point did this. This has been building.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Tom. It's not been one show. It's been building over years.
I would say this pushback on kind of the whole NFL with a lot of the Kaepernick debacle.
I think
the kneeling
just think
thing.
the NFL is going to.
They have not come back from that fully yet.
No,
No, they haven't.
It's really bad. I want to come back to this and celebrate it in just a moment. James All Day had an interesting. Did you hear Chris Brown posted about the halftime show, and now he wants to perform at the Super Bowl halftime? You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm not sure who Chris Brown is. You guys know who Chris Brown is?
Chris Brown is the guy he used to date Rihanna, and he has like, if you played one of his songs, you would know who he is, right? He's a very good performer. I will say this: he's a good dancer. He's a good performer. He's like your African American Justin Bieber. Let's just put it that way. That makes
African American Justin. Okay, all right.
Like a version of Justin Bieber, but in African American form. Very good performer.
Or after Diddy.
I'll say that again.
Or after Diddy.
Puff Daddy is not a entertainer performer.
No. I said Justin Bieber before or after Diddy. Sorry, it was a bad.
Oh
boy.
That's another rabbit hole that we don't want to go into.
We have had so much support on the show. We're going to do one more long celebration, then we're going to get to the Q&A, and then we are out. So I say we're going to celebrate this and all of the support we've had today. Thank you so much, Wildman and Going Shogi and everybody. Let's celebrate.
Too much? Too much? It's a perfect! Wahoo! Oh, that's too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes to the other show, I think I would go so crazy.
Hey, that's not supposed to be up there. I got the wrong thing. Oh gosh, thank you so much for all the support. We have one more Q&A question to where it came in from. O2RR. Which Nintendo character power-up band would you get? Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Toad, Peach, Daisy, Donkey Kong, or Diddy Kong? I got Mario. O2RR got Mario. So let's go around. Tom, do you have one?
Well, sort of. When my family was visiting, my sister-in-law got the pink Princess Peach, and then she left it here so Linda could use it or I could use it. And yeah, that's not happening. I'm not using that. So I haven't got one yet.
It's fun. You should use it.
If he was funny, he would wear
I
it.
said I haven't got my own yet. I got to get one. I'm not wearing a pink one. I don't do pink well.
But Bad Bunny does, and he would wear it.
I'd wear pink.
Shim would probably wear it.
Hey, my whole
He wears
outfit is pink
dresses.
That's why I said shim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So
Erica,
MJ.
we've seen him in a ballerina skirt. Erica, I'll send it to you. He wears women's clothing. I kid you
A
not.
lot of times. MJ, what power up band?
I'll go last. Ask Erica which one she wants. I already know which one she wants. If I know her, I know which one she wants.
Go ahead, Erica.
I'm torn between Yoshi or Daisy. Because I love Yoshi, but I'm also girly and princessy too. So I'm like, those are my.
I was
they're
thinking
only
about
$50
Yoshi
so.
because she has a Yoshi behind her. So I was like, I bet she's
Yeah, I
gonna
probably
pick
would end
Yoshi.
up just doing a Yoshi.
Yeah. Okay, MJ.
Oh, I probably would just get Donkey Kong. I have a soft spot for Donkey Kong. So
Aw,
it's my god, it's my dude. Yeah.
We've all got different ones. That's good. So I have a Luigi one that I bought, but it's not mine. It's for my son. And so for me, I would probably end up with Mario or Donkey Kong. And if I'm going with both of my boys, well, certainly Virginia will get Princess Peach. I would guess. Maybe if you're still in the chat, you can chime in if you want. Princess Peach, and then, but for me, it's going to be Donkey Kong or Mario, and it kind of depends because of my older son. Whichever one he doesn't get, it's the one that I would get, and then we would have a whole variety in our family, and that would be what we would do. But speaking of variety, thank you, panel. Thank you very much, Sky, for being here, and we've had a lot of variety on the panel today. Oh, you're welcome, O2R. Oh, Yoshi, my beautiful wife says she wants Yoshi. So there you go. And Tom, tell the people where they can find you on the interwebs.
On me? Well, I'm hanging out with you, Ron, on Erica's channel on Fridays, Lorena's channel on Sunday. I'm working on my own stuff, but it's just been going slow. I want to get this rocket launch if it goes up. It's been delayed, but other than that, I'm modding everywhere. I'm hanging out. You can find me. Just look for the person who's making the rum go away.
That's
and cool. Erica has a special on every Friday.
Yeah, so you can hang out.
And everything else you got going on.
Yeah, you can hang out with me and Raph on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And we just sit around talking really about anything. We don't really have a specific niche. Last week it was all theme park news and geeking out over theme parks. I think 2 weeks before that, we kind of went into a football NIL discussion, which was interesting. So we're a mixed bag. We can literally talk about anything, and it's done that way on purpose. So you feel like you're in our living room and we're just hanging out, and anything can come up, and it can get spicy too on our podcast.
Curtains. What are those curtains back there? Is that like a Haunted Mansion curtains?
My Haunted Mansion curtains that I use for Halloween.
Cool.
Curtains, Rocky. Curtains.
Curtains. And we've got the most magical person on the panel, magically MJ.
I'm sprinkling magic on Go and Shogi because he's so amazing.
He's great.
He's the
Shogi's
best.
awesome.
Yes, he is the best. I am on Instagram and X. I have some really interesting affiliate links. So if you follow and like and click those links, and you'll save some money and get some really cool stuff. So check it out. Thank you so much for having me on your show today, Ron. I am on That Park Place Mondays and Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm on The Dish, and Erica and Raph Brood Banter Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, man, good stuff. And I might make an appearance on some other channels in the near future. So that's going to be really cool.
There you go. And also, Go and Shogi, could you do me a favor if you have it? Can you drop the link? For Virginia Bradley Adventures? If you have it there. That's my wife's channel, because I saw her in the chat. My beautiful wife, Virginia Bradley, she's in the chat somewhere. And she also has a channel, and it is primarily in Spanish, but also she does Spanish and English. It just depends on whoever shows up in the audience there. But she has 3 channels. That is Virginia Bradley Adventures, Virginia Bradley Magical Adventures, and I think it's Virginia y sus tesoros, for Virginia's treasures, which is more of like a shopping channel. And then I'm here on, Follow the Bradley's Fun with the dish. It's funny. Let's see if I can do this. I one of the things that I have learned about AI, do I have it? I love that I can change the background now. This is my new. Tell me what you think of that, guys.
Oh, I love
Oh, that's
that.
cool.
That's very ice cream shop. I like it.
I like it a lot. I like
So,
it a lot.
I am using that one for my there's my wife's channel. I'm using that backdrop for like all of my like individual videos. So I'm going to be putting out a lot more news commentary style individual videos, as well as dropping some things that come on the dish as their own independent videos. So take a look for those. I did one on Billie Eilish the other day. If you haven't seen that one, that dropped, but I'll be doing a lot more of those in the future as well. And who knows what backdrop I may have. I might borrow Erica's because she's got the best one out there. And yeah, there's Izzo. I've been watching some of Izzo's stuff on his channel too. Great place to hang out. And of course we get Jeremy from Strings and Pucks in here from time to time, and Vash on his channel. And who might drop by the dish from time. What are you doing, Tom? What is that?
I think that's so cool that he just did that not too long ago. I love it.
I'm glad that's the number one finger.
The volume there. My the story behind that was my buddy sent me this thing where he goes, I'm in a real quiet place. I want to be loud. And I know he has his phone up all the time. So I made that real quick, and the video goes, holding that up. So yeah, I got him good with that one. So
that's good.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tom and Eric and MJ and Vash, and everybody for being here. Everybody that's in the chat, Go and Shogi and Izzo's Place and O2RR, Bruce Newhouse and William Schweikert and everybody. That there's so many that have come in today. All of you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, That Park Place, for the raid. And we appreciate you guys, everybody, so much. You can't even believe what it does for me, and I just absolutely appreciate it so much, guys. Also, there weren't any new memberships dropped today, but I want to let you guys know before I go, we are really going to try and push memberships here over the next few shows. I want to get my members. We got to get membership up to over 100 members. That's important because that's the first big milestone. I am going to be giving away this guy when we're going to do a giveaway.
I have to make a blue shield, Ron.
Yeah,
because the wrench went away.
Blue shield wrench. There will be a giveaway when we get to 100, but we are pushing for 100 members of the channel. So if you haven't joined channel membership, do that. And I tell you what, for the next milestone, there's a wrench. When I hit 50 is when I'm going to do the next members only live stream. And so that'll be a special one. And that's coming up soon. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, everybody that's joined us today. And until next time, which will probably be tomorrow after the pro show, I believe. Yeah, we're going to do a show tomorrow at 3:00 after the pro show. Until then, we'll see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao. Thank you.
Dishes are done, man. Cleans them down to the shop.